Hi friends, it's Joan at 10 Pentacles Tarot, and today I'm going to review for you the Spiral Tarot that's put out by US Game Systems. Now this is an older deck, but I think it's one worth looking at. It has really neat pictures and I think you might like it. So that's what the back of the box. This is just a regular flip box. The side. The deck is by K. Steventon, and it's again by US Game Systems. It says the 78 card Spiral Tarot deck imparts mythical imagery and explores the mysteries of the subconscious through the ancient Celtic wisdom. The bottom has no price, so honestly, this is a 1997 deck, so I am not sure what the price is. I'm sure you can find decks online. All right, and that's that. So let's take a look and see the deck. And there's only one thing about it that I don't care for, and I will tell you that. First, it comes with a little white book, standard little white book. It's a little tiny bit different. I'll show you again. Again, it was published in 1997 by US Games. There's an introduction by the author. And let me see. K. Steventon. I'm wondering if she did the pictures too. I guess she did. Okay, so we have, here first we come to the major arcana, and we have a description of the card, and then we have a divinatory meaning. There are no reverse meanings in this little white book. And each card gets two paragraphs, a description of the card and a divinatory meaning. So we go through all of the major arcana like that. And then we get to the minor arcana, and there's a little bit of a paragraph. The minor arcana cards are divided into 4 suits corresponding to the suits of an ordinary playing card deck. And you'll see why it says that in a minute. It says the swords are spades, wands to clubs, cups to hearts, and pentacles to diamonds. And then they tell you about the elements that they represent as well. So first we come, now this is set up a little bit differently because first it'll have aces. The 4 aces are the tools of the magician. So it'll have a description of the Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands, Ace of Cups, and Ace of Pentacles. And again, you have a short description of the card and a divinatory meaning. Then we come to the 2s of each suit again, the 3s, the 4s, and so on, all the way up to the 10s. And then we come to the court cards, and each suit's court cards are separate. So here we have the swords, the Princess of Swords, the Knight of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the King of Swords. And again, they don't have pages in this deck; they have princesses, and that's fairly common. And then we have the court cards for wands, cups, and pentacles. So then we come to the Celtic cross spread. Okay, that was weird. A light just went off and I'm not exactly sure what just happened. I think everything's okay. We have the Celtic cross spread. There's a description of it. We have the position meanings. And then there's a place for notes in the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, like 6 little pages for notes. And then on the back, it talks about US Game Systems, the tarot decks that they had available as of 1997, the Cartomancy and Games, and books by Stuart Kaplan, and US Game Systems address. All right, so that's the little white book. Like I said, that's a typical little white book. Now we have the cards, and let me show you real quick. The cards, this is the title card, and it has this on the back. This is what it looks like. There's the spiral, because this is the Spiral Tarot, and it's reversible. And they're glossy cards. They're very, fairly thin cardstock. And then we come to this next card, which is about how K. Steventon created this deck. Now, let me tell you something before we go on. I'd say, it was years and years ago. I went to a Renaissance fair in Eminence, Kentucky, and they still have this Renaissance fair to this day. But when I went, it was maybe about the second year or so. I don't know. It was a long time ago. And I went to a tarot reader there, and she was obviously a young lady. She was new at it. And so I was just making conversation. And at the time, I was interested in tarot cards, but I wasn't reading. And so I asked her, how did you get involved with tarot cards? And she proceeded to tell me about how her grandmother was of Celtic ancestry, and her grandmother used to read playing cards, and she taught her all about that, and she taught her how life moves in a spiral and so on and so forth. And I thought that was really interesting, and I said, oh, okay, thank you for sharing. And then I got this deck a while back because when I saw her doing the reading, I thought it was a really cool deck, and so I found it and I bought it. And then I read this. This is Kay Steventon, the creator's card about how she invented, or her how she got into tarot and how she designed the deck. Listen to this. The Spiral Tarot deck is dedicated to my Celtic grandmother, who used to read playing cards. When I was a child, it was she who guided me through a perilous journey. She instilled in me the philosophy that life is like that ancient symbol, the spiral. Each phase of life has a beginning, runs its course, and comes to an end before moving to the next cycle. The ultimate aspiration is to be like the tarot fool, not allowing past experiences to hold us back, but embracing the new cycle with open heart and mind, each time with a little more wisdom. And I realized that this was exactly what the tarot reader at the Renaissance Fair had told me about how she got involved with the tarot. Now, I know this young lady was not Kay Steventon, and I know she did not invent this deck. So what the reader did was copy off of what was in the deck. Now, if I were you, I wouldn't do that. That wasn't such a smart thing to do, because tarot readers should never assume that their clients are not tarot readers. So when I read this and I realized she had copied it right off the deck, I thought, wow, if you're not being honest about how you got started in tarot, are you being honest in your reading? Now, I can't say she gave a bad reading. I think it was a fine reading. But the point is, I don't think it's really a good idea to take the author of the tarot deck's experience and pass it off as your own. Okay? That's just something that I think is good advice. All right. So let's look at the cards. As I said, they're shiny and glossy. You saw the back was a spiral. And this is how they compare to my Radiant Rider-Waite Smith deck. They're probably 5/8 of an inch shorter, which actually makes this deck really good for shuffling with my shorter fingers. So let's take a look at the cards, and at the end we'll do a one-card reading to see what the universe has to say to you and to see if you like the way the mini guidebook is written. All right. Now, I think these cards have a lot of great imagery. I think they're fascinating. They have Hebrew letters. They have element associations. They have the Roman numeral of the card at the top. They have the number and the name of the card at the bottom. They've got this like cloudy purple border, followed by a burgundy border and a white tiny line there too. All right, so let's take a look. Here's the Fool, the Magician, the High Priestess, the Empress, and they have some astrological symbols on them as well. The Emperor, the Hierophant, the Lovers, the Chariot, Strength, the Hermit, the Wheel of Fortune, Justice, the Hanged Man, Death, Temperance, the Devil, the Tower, the Sun, the Moon, wait, I'm sorry, the Star, that was the Star, not the Sun, my bad. The Sun, Judgment, and the World. And then we move on to the Wands, the Ace of Wands, Two of Wands, Three of Wands, Four of Wands, Five of Wands, Six of Wands, Seven of Wands, Eight of Wands, Nine of Wands, 10 of Wands. Now, the imagery is similar or very relatable to the Rider-Waite-Smith imagery, as you can probably tell. Now, again, they don't have a Page of Wands. They have a Princess of Wands instead. So there's Princess of Wands, Knight of Wands, Queen of Wands, and King of Wands. And if you're noticing the cards, I have a little problem with this deck sticking. It doesn't seem to be as bad as I remember. There's just a little bit. If you have this deck and you have a sticking issue, let me know. I'm not sure if mine were just maybe in the heat too long or something, but I wonder if you have an issue with them sticking. Please leave a comment below if you do. The Ace of Cups, Two of Cups, Three of Cups, Four of Cups, oops, Five of Cups, Six of Cups, Seven of Cups, Eight of Cups, Nine of Cups, 10 of Cups, Princess of Cups, Knight of Cups, Queen of Cups, and King of Cups. Now we come to the Suit of Swords. There's your Ace of Swords, Two of Swords, Three of Swords, Four of Swords, Five of Swords, Six of Swords, Seven of Swords, Eight of Swords, Nine of Swords, 10 of Swords, Princess of Swords, Knight of Swords, Queen of Swords, and King of Swords. And the Suit of Pentacles, there's the Ace of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, Princess of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, and King of Pentacles. So that is what the cards look like. Now, let's see how they shuffle. They're really easy for me to get my fingers around because they're a little bit shorter. So they're easy to do the riffle shuffle with. And I'll shuffle them up and we'll see what the universe has to say to you or what Spirit has to reveal. And then I'll read from the book so you can see how it's written. Whoop. Alright, one more shuffle this way. Now, they don't really seem to be sticking too badly right now. Maybe just a little. Alright, so Spirit, what do you have to say today to our viewer through this deck? What does our viewer need to know or think about right now? There it is. Okay. This is the Nine of Swords. Okay, so let me show you up close what that looks like. The Nine of Swords. Often known as the Nightmare card. There's a woman. 9 swords are behind her. She looks like she just woke up from a bad dream and she is upset. Alright, so let's see what the Nine of Swords says. It says, a woman wakes in the night, gripped by fear. She feels depressed and does not know which way to turn. And the divinatory meaning, things are not as bad as they seem. However, there are real difficulties that only time and the universe can cure. All right, so the message of this card is even though you have real difficulties right now, things aren't as bad as they seem. In fact, sometimes the things you worry about most are things that are never ever going to come true. And remember that worry really never solves anything. So you may be giving yourself unnecessary anxiety through worrying about things that actually there's nothing you can do about. So it says the real difficulties, time and the universe can cure. And also an interesting thing is at the beginning of the nines, it says the hermit owns the nines, each of which is an expression of the search for inner guidance. All right, so there you go. That is my review of the Spiral Tarot by Kay Steventon. Apparently she did the writing and the artwork. And again, it's published by US Game Systems. It's a 1997 deck. If you'd like to look it up, I'm sure you'll be able to find it online. So I want to thank you for being here. I appreciate you more than you'll ever know. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. It's perfectly free for you. There are no charges ever. And if you, unless you want to order a personal tarot reading, that information is in the description box. But other than that, everything's free, and that's optional, of course. If you hit the notification bell, you'll be notified whenever a new video is released. I have well over 250 videos for you to choose from. There's lots of different deck reviews, oracle deck reviews, readings, and there's a 10 video series on tarot for beginners, learning to read. So all of those things might interest you. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever it is where you are. And I hope to see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.